Previously on Ace Attorney Investigations. Edgeworth here. Let me recap what very little happened last time. We continued our investigation of the crime scene, and we discovered that Mr. Hicks wasn't the only one in the elevator, and someone left it alive. Then that Schweinhund from Borginia came down, and we had ourselves a little argument. This led to the discovery that due to his own confusion of the time, Lablanc saw Hicks at 3 a.m. This led to...
I've a million cents!
That. And then we found out from Cammie Meele, another flight attendant, that no one got on or off the stop at Zhengfa. So in short, nothing happened. Will that change this episode? Find out on Ace Attorney Investigations. Next!
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Alright then. That puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m.
Okay, now, what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa.
Ah! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in the lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards?
Unfortunately, yes.
But then, how do we explain the footprints?
Is not that obvious? This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him, and then he put the corpse into the elevator. This is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge.
Everything happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. Lablanc?
What? Do you have another idea?
I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than this lounge?
Take that! I don't need to hear your wild desperation stories. Grasping for weeds, I think is how you say it, yes?
I didn't mean to pull that piece out. It was a simple slip of the hand, I assure you. That wasn't best for my credibility. Let's try the right one this time. Take that! These footprints, in which direction do you think these are headed?
That would be the in-flight shop.
Correct. They are headed in the direction of the shop.
But they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden.
You're right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there is another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the in-flight shop? A ghastly statue. Take that! The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious?
Ha! Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before bringing it here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all.
Is there no way to win with this man?
Hold it! If I may.
What is it?
You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says.
Oh, and why do you know this so well?
Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes.
And when was this?
It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.?
Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence?
That's right!
You were in the shop just before the turbulence?
Yes, I was.
come to think of it, Miss Teneiro, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door.
Yes, I did.
And what is beyond that door?
That's the flight attendant's room.
Then you were on the first floor?
Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first, and then to the flight attendant's room.
Are you saying you passed by me at some point?
Yes. You seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by.
I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was.
Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there.
Why did you go to the shop in the first place?
I went there for a work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know.
In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well.
Shall we head over there then?
Hold it!
What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop?
No, I haven't forgotten. But I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're all right.
Huh, that's weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Teneiro?
It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet, here you are.
You, flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us?
The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss Teneiro, why would you do such a thing?
Please excuse me.
Yeah, you keep walking. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. Lablanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. If you know what I'm saying.
There's something about Miss Teneiro that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Even if I have to do so with someone with 2 glaring headlights. Dear God. So, this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here.
You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then.
Hold on! You can't clean up a potential crime scene!
Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much.
I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There is a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Come along, Meele. The glass from this display case's door is shattered all over the floor. And it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat.
Put the mini captain's hat on, Mr. Edgeworth.
There are all kinds of luxury name-brand merchandise for sale in this display case. And they're lined up in just such a manner as to scream, "Buy me," to any passers-by. What's going on over here? A rave? What are these?
Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it.
Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world you try, then buy.
No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter.
True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they've boarded the plane?
Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you?
It is currently making something jump inside my stomach.
Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined tastes.
Huh?
You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was gonna finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay?
But I never showed any interest in it to begin with!
It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda.
Miss Teneiro designed this?
Yeah, it was a company-wide contest.
Well, it does have a very sharp design sense.
Sharp, like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so blah.
Miss Teneiro designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. Ah!
You okay?
I'm fine! Please watch yourself, Miss Meele. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation.
That'll happen sometimes. Here, I'll put it back.
Almost got done in by a psychedelic suitcase. Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale.
We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when there's nothing going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one?
I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. Let's get out of the path of those suitcases. There is a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases.
You know what I'd suggest?
Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip.
Okay, then how about you buy something for me then, as a present?
I can't think of a single reason why I'd want to buy you anything.
Aw, but I've had my eye on that pennant for such a long time.
Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something, and then we'll talk. Rifling through this glass, I suddenly realize how much I miss Gumshoe, especially in the presence of this drowsy ditz. Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Meele is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly.
How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed.
Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that?
There's a whole locker full of decapitated Mr. iFlies in my room. I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever.
So what do you think about what has happened regarding this case?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer though, Mr. Edgeworth.
I can assure you that I'm here in this shop to prove just the opposite.
But it was me that got you the permission to look around. You know. So don't forget that, okay?
How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep?
Well, you know what'd really show your thanks? See that item for sale over there?
Sorry, but you're going to have to make do with my words of appreciation. Now let's see if some evidence might wake up this busty blitherer.
Mr. Rhoda said that this piggy bank was in this shop, right? Don't you find her a tiny bit suspicious?
I don't think I can say either way yet. There's not enough evidence to convince me that she was lying about anything back there.
Are you sure about that? 'Cause I think she's pretty freaking suspicious. How does she get her hair to do that?
Not sure if I quite have the evidence to get the information out of her yet, though. Beautiful flowers in a beautiful arrangement. I feel cleansed just by looking at them.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're getting pollen all over.
Oh, excuse me.
Do just buy it for me.
Blah blah blah, wibbly wobbly, skip the dialogue. Suitcase is designed by Miss Teneiro. That's one sharp design.
Can we not do any thinking? Thinking is hard.
Aha! The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it?
Really?
Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop.
Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So, come on, how should I know anything?
I sense that further inspection of this display case is needed. Especially as there is absolutely no way I can find a connection between these 2 points of logic. I can't help pointing out right now that me and Phoenix do far more detective work than the actual detectives on these cases. The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank, but it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly.
Ow!
What is it?
I touched the glass and I cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth. It hurts.
Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own.
Oh, how I miss Gumshoe right now. He'd cut his finger open, I would make some snappy comment about negligence, then he'd make some charmingly moronic comment and response, and we would get on with the investigation. But no, instead I'm being babysat by a reject from Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball, and I can't find the bloody event flag to continue on with this investigation.
No wonder Phoenix is so nervous all the time. This could drive a man to desperation. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I certainly hope so. But if I were to make an educated guess, I would guess it has something to do with the murder weapon, which in turn has to do with the murder scene! Eureka! Everyone just forget that happened. I seem to have gotten a little ahead of myself. Let's just present the murder weapon itself to begin with. Eureka! There is definitely something very unusual about this.
About what?
If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Mr. I-Fly bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
Nope, no there isn't.
Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time too.
That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Mr. I-Fly from here after the turbulence. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meele, and listen when I'm talking. But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that is a very real possibility.
But then, what if when the killer went to take Mr. I-Fly, they broke the glass by accident?
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
Oh, and who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything.
Miss Rhoda Teneiro, huh? I'm rather disinclined to believe she is the culprit, but all avenues of thought must be explored. On that note, time to make some connections. The rolling suitcase in the turbulence. I do believe I have something! Yes, there is definitely something wrong here.
What's with the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meele, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure. They totally ooze strange, like the color and the such.
That's not what I'm talking about! Now pay attention!
You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator.
Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meele. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind. I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. What is so unusual about this suitcase? One of these things is not like the other. Take that! There's something very peculiar about these wheels.
Huh? As in...
As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And so, it is very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Not that I necessarily want to. Though, at this distance, the colors aren't quite as eye-melting as you'd imagine. It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood!
It's blood!
It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Dear me, Miss Teneiro, the evidence is piling up.
So, explain this to me? What does the suitcase have to do with the murder?
I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps.
But aren't you just talking about the cloth, then?
That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used this suitcase to transport is... Oh, let's think about this for a moment. A giant suitcase with a bloody cloth on the inside. I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the dead body. Take that! Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it?
But...
In light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location.
So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it?
Exactly. What is it?
Nothing. Just that... I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat.
I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites.
Under your supervision, of course.
If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together.
I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Meele reminded me about Miss Teneiro, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Teneiro and Miss Meele, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Teneiro in private. So I'm left wondering just what she was up to. Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation.
I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth.
I recognize those dulcet tones. Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany.
I go where I am needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught.
Her name is Franziska von Cammie, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Cammie. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are.
Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I am placing you under arrest.
What?
It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of von Cammie would become a criminal. Have you no shame?
Wait! It has all been a big misunderstanding! I didn't kill the victim!
A misunderstanding? I heard all the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death.
Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed a man?
I suppose I should reserve judgment until I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then.
That's as it should be.
Ha! I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you, of all people. To be perfect in every way. The fulfillment of the creed alone is all I strive for.
Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill. So why don't we solve this together?
I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town.
Trust me, I had no intention to.
Detective Gumshoe!
Yes, sir! Here I come to do some stuff!
Too slow!
I'm sorry, sir!
Listen up. I am leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand?
Mr. Edgeworth? Now I'm supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Yes, sir! Understood, sir! You just leave it to me!
Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
It's good to see you again, Miss Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay.
Thank you, Detective.
I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend and help you carry on.
I have to admit I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you.
Objection! Objection! Hold it! Hold it! Eureka! Take that! Take that! Next time!
Miss von Cammie just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir.
So tell me, Franziska, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene?
I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you.
But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix?
Was? You paid a visit to this room, correct?
Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup.
By the way, Miss Teneiro, what is one of those suitcases doing here?
That's...
Let's start project.